For me, the standing ovation. Well, howdy. You can say hi or whatever, but say something back to me, okay? Hi! How are you guys doing? Awesome. So I just want to say, Mike, I'm telling you, when Mike asked, I do what I can. I was like, all right, I moved some stuff around for you, because that's how much fun we have had for each other. We're both married, so don't go there, okay? But the admiration I have for the leadership and the core ambassadors here in this chapter, by the way, this is like one of my favorite chapters. Well, you know, there are quite a few Successful Thinkers chapters. But I've been able to speak at other chapters and got to see different cultures based on the leadership, and this is an amazing chapter. So for those of you who are visiting for the first time, who are you again, please? Can I see your hands? Are you having fun so far? Yes. You're like, let's get this show on the road, lady. You're 8 already. You are at one of the best, you know, this is where the other chapters are learning from, this chapter, and how things are done and how relationships are handled, and you know, the ground rules that Mike gave you. I'm a big fan of his. That's why I'm here, and I'm honored to be here. So thank you for being here, and we're going to play. Is that okay? Together? Okay, there's a little hesitation on this side. This side's ready to go. You can't lose like that, okay? So what I want to do real quick is I want to tell you a little bit about, you know, why I do what I do, and a little bit about, you know, why you need to listen to anything that I have to say at all. My name is Kasama Lee. I live in American Canyon. How many of you know where that is? Oh my gosh, it must have gotten more popular, because I didn't know where American Canyon was when I moved there 11 years ago. I was like, that sounds really far. Where is it? It's next to Napa, right? And so you imagine the fondness. I drive over here, right? It's 45 minutes, but I love it here. I have been in a leadership-based industry for about 6 years. In the past 6 years of my life, I've been in sales. I've had the corporate, executive position, all of that good stuff. And through all of these experiences that I've had, I've come to realize that the part that lights me up, just makes me want to grow over and over, is the lifting other people to their greatness. Seeing people coming from a place of, you know, I don't think I can do this, to a place of, I'm rocking over here, and thank you for believing in me. Do you know what I'm talking about? It's a gift. It's a gift to be able to be part of a person or an organization's journey and see that growth. And so I become a certified coach for John Maxwell. Can I see the hands again of people who have heard of John Maxwell? And don't be shy if you haven't. He's not in the Tony Robbins sector, but John Maxwell is actually global. He's written 73 books, 20-some million copies have been sold. He's actually going to be consulting with the Guatemalan government. They invited him to really work on leadership. So John is a leadership expert. And I get to work with him directly and his team. There's a handful of us coaches around the world. It's a phenomenal feeling, because I've been studying, applying, living, teaching his stuff for many, many years. And then when I found out that there was a program, are you kidding me? I was all over it. So I share that with you to say this. If you know that there's a purpose for you, I'm all about life's purpose and your passion, okay? If you feel that there's something in your gut that you're meant to do and you're not quite there, or you're thinking about it, but it keeps, you know how some conversations or topics or people keep showing up in your life through different sources, and you know that you're good at something, explore it. It's the worst that can happen, right? What I didn't want for me was to go through the rest of my life looking back and go, man, shoulda, coulda. And I didn't do the things that I wanted to do. I didn't explore the areas in life that may be my purpose. Because I'm living my purpose. And my name tag says, got passion? You know why? I want to know about your passion. I want to know what makes you come alive. What makes you light up? What is that thing that keeps you up in the middle of the night? Or when you wake up, you're like, man, I can't wait to do it. Right? So, if there's that thing for you, find the people, the surroundings, whatever you need to find. Get the book, do whatever you got to do. Get the resources, and dig your claws into it. Don't just let life happen around you. Is that a deal?
Yes.
Okay, that wasn't too enthusiastic.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So now I'm going to talk to you. So basically what I do is I do professional and personal growth and leadership development coaching. I do group coaching and personal coaching. So what I'm going to do with you today is there's a famous saying by Aristotle that says, the quality of your life is based on the quality of the questions you ask yourself. The quality of your life is based on the quality of questions you ask yourself. Now, what does that mean? That just means your subconscious remembers the stuff that you feed into it, doesn't it? That's huge in coaching. When you're shifting someone's thinking, it's from the subconscious level. It's not at the conscious level. It's not the stuff that we think we know. It's the stuff that's been built and fed into our subconscious level, right? So, for example, when you think of questions, right? And sometimes we don't even know we're asking questions. You know what I mean? Like, it's the other people inside our heads, right? You guys don't have that? Just me? I'm in the wrong room or what? Right? So it's the other stuff, the chatter that goes on inside our head. And we go, I'm still cracking up about the people inside my head. You know, it's a noise that sometimes steers you away from actually what could have been your destiny. But we block it with all the other stuff, the reasons, the this, the that, and the people that know us, that tell us, you know, it's probably not going to happen, this is not your thing, I don't see you talking to people, whatever, right? All this other stuff. Then we start asking ourselves questions, don't we? For example, your question might be, why am I stuck? Have you ever heard that person inside your head say that? Why am I stuck where I'm at? Right? Wait, how many of you have heard that question? Because I want to make sure I'm in the right room. Okay, good. Because if you haven't been stuck, you probably haven't really stepped out of the box. That's when growth happens, right? When you're stuck. It's what you... Christine's like, yeah. I love being stuck. I'm like, man, I'm going to bust through this, right? And I want to tell you, that's not where I came from. That's not how I grew up. I grew up being told that, don't try that. Don't go out at night. Don't climb a tree because you'll fall down. Don't talk to strangers because they might kidnap you. Don't. That's what I grew up with. So I busted through, I'm now on the other side going, do everything. I got 2 kids, I'm like, dude, do everything. You want to try something? And I tell he's only 10, but I'm like, don't go through life saying, I don't like it, and you never tried it. Like, I don't want to hear that. So my poor children are being coached every day, right? It's like an army boot camp every day. And literally I go, am I a mom or am I a coach right now? Because I want to formulate their thinking, right? So you got to ask yourself that when you're stuck. You know, are you asking, why am I stuck? Or the other question you could ask is, what would I do if I could not fail? Oh, doesn't that sound good? I got goosebumps just from that. Did you feel it? What could I do? What do if I knew I could not fail? So who cares if you're stuck now, right? Forget about, just don't say stop. Do something about it, right? Another question might be, how many of you are in sales? How many of you are in like working with people? Like you get paid closing the deal, whatever that deal is. Okay. Okay, good. What do the rest of you do? Is there something else out there? I want to know. Okay. So you may ask, why do I attract flaky people? Have you heard that noise? Somebody laughed, right? That's been inside my head. Why do I attract? We call them different names, right? But I'll just say flaky people. Have you had that, Mike?
Never.
Oh, see? He's got one voice, Mike's voice. Why do I attract flaky people? The other question you might ask in place of that, ready? What do I need to do to learn and grow so I can attract the right people? Starts with us always, doesn't it? It's not about all these other people that actually create results in our lives. It's us creating results in our lives, right? How about, oh, I love this one. How much is this going to cost me? Have you heard that? What is it going to cost me? I'm already broke. How much is it going to cost me, right? How about this? This is what entrepreneurs, so I love working with entrepreneurs and salespeople because this is how they think already, okay? You ask, how much is this going to make me? Yeah. Then you'll find the money, won't you? Because you want to know how much it's going to make you. That's what successful people, successful-minded people, they may not be successful. You know, there's a difference between being broke and being broke-minded. Huge difference. Being broke-minded has to be cured. Being broke, you just got to go learn how to make money. Would you agree? It's just a physical state that you're in. Right? Okay, how about, so far so good? Are you awake? How about people in the back? Woo! Oh, wide awake, good. All right. How about, why do I keep failing? Have you heard that question from the people inside your head? Or even sometimes they're your family members. Why do you keep messing up, right? Oh, love those family members. You know, family members are people that are assigned to you, right, from your creator. And then your friends are the family you choose. So no matter what you do, you're stuck with your family, but let's just go find new friends and add the circle that will complement or supplement the family that you're assigned to. Or ask them to stop talking. I've done that too. I'm like, okay, if you don't have anything to add to my life and where I'm going, please don't say anything. Just keep it to yourself. I love you, but I don't want to hear anything that takes anything away from me. Is that okay to ask? That's not rude, is it? No. Well, I mean, they're still my family. I can't fire them after I ask them that, and they stop. It's amazing when you ask people and direct people to do something, they actually take instructions if you do it nicely. Right? Okay, so, what was my question? Why do I keep failing? So when you fail, John Maxwell has a book called Failing Forward. It's about failing and what successful people do with the failure versus most other people, how they view failure, right? So the question that you could ask yourself instead is, what did I learn from that experience? You see, you can't grow if you're not failing. You really haven't tried. Failing should be something that you embrace and go, man, bring it on. I want to learn from this. That's what I do when I know something's going south for me. I'm like, okay, let's just get past that so I can get up and do it again. And do it right the next time, right? Because you learn from it, right? Okay. The next one might be, why am I not good enough? Have you heard that? We don't hear it, but it's there. When we're doing something and it doesn't work out, we're like, man, maybe I'm not good enough. You know, I remember the day when I would go to these networking things like this, right? Long ago. Because I wanted to get business cards. Totally the opposite of what successful thinkers. That's why I love successful thinkers. It's about relationships, isn't it? Right? So my goal would be, I'm going to walk into this room, bunch of business people, I'm going to get 15 business cards. That's my little goal, right? And I would come out, actually before I come out, I'm standing there going, what am I doing here? What am I doing here? I'm stuck. I'm in stuck land with these people I don't care to know. And they're all just pitching at each other, right? Have you been there? Yeah. You look lost. I mean, you know what I'm talking about, right? Yeah. So these mixers, or whatever you call them, where people are just shoving business cards to each other, and you're like, I don't want to be here. You know when you feel like you don't belong somewhere? Yeah. So you're like, okay, maybe I'm not good enough. Maybe it's me. Maybe blah, 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 right? So the other question that you could ask yourself instead is, where did it go? Okay.
Where is the closest successful thinkers?
That's one. Give them a round of applause. That's a good question, right? So when you ask yourself, why am I not good enough? Ask yourself, what do I need to do to grow? Because when you're not, when you feel that you're not good enough, what does that mean? You need to stretch and grow, don't you? Isn't that what it means? At the end of the day, isn't that like there's an area that you need to develop in, whether it's communication, whether it's engaging with people, whether it's attracting people to you, whether it's developing confidence? Isn't that what it means? When you feel like, why am I not good enough? So why don't you just ask yourself, what do I need? What skills? And who are the best people that I can learn from? There are always teachers and mentors and coaches out there. But what do you need to do? What are you willing to do to invest into yourself and feel the pain? It's going to be painful, I promise you, because if you're not feeling the pain, you're not doing it right. It's supposed to be painful when you're growing. But man, when you come out the other side, or when I work with someone and I see them have that, it's the breakthrough is like from this moment to this moment. It's a paradigm shift. It's not like you got to work on this for the next 6 months. It's this. And when you see that, it's a phenomenal experience for them more so, but for me to watch. Because you know what? Once you see something differently, right? Your paradigm shift or whatever it is that, see you know what a paradigm is? Yeah. What is it? It's not a buffet dish. No, I'm just kidding. A paradigm is how we see things, right? It's the view. It's almost like, what is it?
It's a frame of reference.
That's right. It's a frame of reference. It's your imaginary glasses, lenses, that you see everything through based on the conditioning and the way you've been, you know, the information that's been given to you into your subconsciousness. So you see things a certain way. Have you ever been with people that, like, you say the sky, oh, it's beautiful, blue sky, and they go, nah, it's kind of gray. Have you? Yeah. So then you go, wow, look at the water. Man, what a refreshing feeling. Yeah, I don't like water. You know what I mean? It's like, man, you know, wouldn't it be great to make an insane amount of money so that you could give more and do more and serve more and make impact in causes that you care about? They're like, oh no, I'm good. I'm good being broke. Do you know what I'm talking about? It's like, dude, I can't help you. You gotta be willing to shift the lenses. You gotta know that you want new lenses and this is not gonna be your life, right? So when you have the paradigm shift, it's like that. So when you're going through dialogues, asking like the right questions, and you can do this for yourself too, you know? You just gotta like catch yourself when you're asking the questions that take you south. You gotta go, no, those are not the questions. Those are taking me down. I'm asking the questions that take me up. And when you ask the right question, enough, a series of them, is usually not just one question, you start to have a paradigm shift. You start to see the blue sky. You start to see the beautiful water. You start to see opportunities. You start to see people that you want to be around versus saying, I can't connect with these people. You start to grow because that's where you want to be, right? So you start living your life courageously. Uncomfortably, courageously, and growing. How many are in for uncomfortably, courageously, and growing? Okay, almost all of you, so that's a good sign, right? It's fun, you know, and so the paradigm shift is something that you're looking to have, you continue to want to have. I look for paradigm shifts. I look for opportunities and areas that I've never done, and I want to grow. Like I see, when I think of the word being uncomfortable, I think of growth. You also have to look. The other thing I want to leave with you is the one thing you want to think about is when you think of the word that makes you feel icky, you know, like uncomfortable would be one, right? Right? Or maybe closing a sale. How many of you love closing a sale? Okay. How many of you, not so much? And it's okay if you don't. Okay? And it may look differently for each of you. It may not be in one presentation. It may be a process that's asking for the payment, right? Isn't that closing the sale? You see, no payment, no money. No sale, no closing of the sale, bills don't get paid, and can't do more for other people, right? So when you have that, whatever that thing that makes you feel icky, right? I see some people smiling, that's a good sign. You know what I'm talking about, right? I've been there. Like, oh my gosh, now I gotta ask them for the check. Breathe, go to the bathroom, breathe, right? Been there, done that, okay? But when you can get past that, because you know what? Here's a big secret. You've done it once, now it's just, you get better at it, don't you? Because you know what it feels like now. It's all about the experience. You got to get that experience. So when you start to feel uncomfortable about something that makes you sweat, I mean, I'm sweating right now, but I'm not. I'm comfortable. I'm just hot. Not that you care. Somebody said, you're too young to have hot flashes. I just met you. I can't talk about this. Anyway. Anyway, what was I talking about? Oh, closing, right? See how it throws you off?
All we remember now is the hot flash.
What'd you say?
All we remember now is the hot flash.
I know. That was what was your takeaway today? She was having a hot flash as she was talking. Thank you very much. So,
Oh my god, I go there.
Did you get it? Because that needs to go on Facebook. Only Alameda chapter does the speaker get fanned by the host, right? Thank you, Mike. So, closing the sale, right? So whatever that is for you, the word that triggers is whatever that triggers your self-consciousness. If it's uncomfortable, you need to change it. It's actually simple. It's a vocabulary. It's that trigger that makes you curl up as opposed to open up, right? So if it's uncomfortable, I was just doing this with a group of people. If you say, you know, when you start to get uncomfortable, that's when you back away, right? Isn't that usually your instinct? You start to go, I don't want to do this. And I was just talking to a gentleman earlier, he's like, you know, I would come to these things and I would drive home. I would get in the car and drive home. It's uncomfortable, right? Bunch of strangers. And you guys don't look very friendly right now. You're not smiling. Okay, that's better. So, I know you're listening. I'm just teasing you. I told you we were going to have some fun. So when you're uncomfortable, you got to ask yourself, what word can I replace that makes me want to leap out of my seat and do it? Whatever it is that makes you uncomfortable. For me, it's growth. Because isn't that what being uncomfortable usually generates? If you stay the course, and you stayed in the game and you just plugged away, it's growth that you get from it. What do you gain from that experience, right? So you gotta just find those trigger words, those things that actually get you excited as opposed to draining your energy. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay, what I'd love to do now is, do I have like 5 minutes?
Does she have 5 minutes?
Yeah, whatever she wants.
Oh, thank you. Okay, I'll just take 5 minutes. What I'd love to do is, if somebody would like to, if you have a place where you're stuck, and it could be your business, it doesn't have to be personal, and you want to just kind of get a clarity of what that might be like by the questions that I would ask you. There's no right or wrong, it's just, and I don't have the answer. As a coach, I don't have the answer. You have the answer. You actually come in whole. I'm just trying to guide you to where you haven't tapped into. Okay? Would anyone like to volunteer? Would whatever that maybe is keeping you in your business or in your life where you keep doing the same thing, spinning the wheel, and it's just, you know, what is it getting you? The same result, right? Insanity. And you go, you know what, I need to just have this breakthrough because, you know, one breakthrough leads into another, right? Because you love the breakthrough so much, you don't want to stop. Do I have any volunteers? Oh, I love it. Come on up. Give her a round of applause, please. Don't worry, I won't hurt her. Hi, what's your name? Akina. Akina. Everybody say, hi, Akina.
Hi, Akina.
And everybody say, thanks for sharing your experience with us.
Thanks for sharing your experience with us.
You feel the love? Don't worry about it. I love you. They love you too. They just, you know, it's all good, right?
We're all here to learn.
What'd you say?
We're all here to learn.
Isn't it true?
And grow.
I love coaching. Okay. So Akina, tell me what has been the one thing that has just kind of kept you stuck in the same place and you're like, you know, I want to get a breakthrough.
I don't know who my customer is.
Awesome. Oh man, that's a loaded question I'm going to be asking you, isn't it? So what do you do?
I'm a chef by trade, and so I have this catering business, and I'm opening up to coaching people who have problems reducing bad sugar and sodium in their diets.
Oh. So is your business the chef part or the coaching part?
It's both. I mean, I'm trying to open up alternative streams of revenue. I think I'm being called to speak with people and give them practical ways to help them make these changes in their diets.
Okay, so what we want to focus on, so what I'm hearing you saying is you want to focus on the coaching part.
I do. I would like to, yes. The
Is that
catering
what-
is great. I'm good at that. I know I can do that. The challenge is the coaching piece.
That's what speaks to your heart, right? That's what lights you up? Because we want to focus on that. Okay, so give me an example of the last time that you had a coaching experience. Have you done any of it?
Actually, I just 2 days ago had a client who wanted to purchase something else and ended up doing a pro bono session with her for like an hour. On the basis of her just kind of wanting to buy something else. So
that was your coaching
2 days ago, yeah.
Okay, how was that? How did that feel for you?
It felt really, really good, particularly because she went out on Facebook and blasted how cool I was after she talked to me.
Okay, this is not part of the coaching part, but I have to ask, because I coach business owners on marketing stuff too. Do you have a website?
I do.
Oh, good answer. Okay, so let me ask you this. What did you like What was it that turned you on about that conversation that made you feel unstoppable, that made you feel empowered, that made you feel, this is what I'm meant to do? What was it?
The fact that I was giving her new information, and she was, for whatever reason, at that particular time, extremely receptive to it.
Was it what else? What else made you feel good about, besides you giving the information? What was it that you were getting
I
from
was
her?
being useful. I was being useful, and she was, she was helped by it. So.
How would you describe this particular person that you spoke to? What kind of business does she have? And
Funny enough, she's on her journey to open a catering business in Maryland.
Everybody say, So this was her journey, and you're speaking her language.
Mm-hmm.
What was it that you noticed about the conversation that you had with her what did she say to you at the end that made you know that this was a worthwhile conversation that you gave?
She says, oh my God, thank you. I know exactly what to do now. I'm going to go and look into these things. That I gave her a list of things to do. And she's like, I'm going to go and look into these things. I'm going to call her business partner. And yeah, this is going to work good. And I was just like, okay.
So her profile is that she's going to go start a catering business.
Yeah, like she didn't know some of the intricacies around certification processes and things around the law and, what her state probably mandates. And I just steered her in the direction to do all these things.
So you have the answers on how to set this up?
Yeah, I have the answers.
So what do you think, would you like to have more of that experience of people starting up new businesses, catering businesses, and so on and so forth?
Yeah, I would. That would be awesome.
So let me ask you this. Who do you think might be your ideal client profile for your coaching?
Other chefs, maybe. Yeah, other chefs.
Restaurant
And-
owners.
What'd you say?
Restaurant owners.
Cooking skills.
You feel the love from the room.
Home cook.
So, and particularly the person that you spoke to, what is she looking to start doing?
Well, I don't think they want to do, our industry is changing tremendously. And because it's so fluid and so trendy right now, a lot of chefs are not investing in restaurants anymore. The restaurant business is kind of like it's not the greatest way to go. And I think a lot of chefs are waking up to that, and they're creating these alternative avenues to provide sort of mobile services and services that yield to more fluidity and motion. And so, yeah, that's kind of, did I answer your question?
Well, no, because I was trying to get you to think about, what was your original question?
I don't know who my client is. I don't.
So, could it be the people that are looking to start their businesses and not knowing what steps they may need to take? Or maybe not. I mean, I'm just...
It could be. I mean, that call was an isolated incident. That doesn't happen very often at all, but it certainly did feel good. And, I don't know. I would be open to exploring that.
The one thing that I would suggest, could I offer you some coaching? Okay. The one thing that I was, and usually it takes longer, but I'm in the consideration of time. I would suggest that you look at the thing that she blasted out about you, what she said. Did you read it?
Yeah.
That is called a testimonial.
Okay.
Testimonials rock. Hello, right? Grab that testimonial, slap it on your website, right? Ask for her permission, and I would spend time just sitting down and really list out your ideal profile. See, you're at a sweet spot because you can create anything you want right now. You're not stuck in a business and you're trying to shift the market. You can create the ideal client profile where you are right now. Think about that last conversation, that whole coaching thing that you did. What were the things that made you feel good? What were the things that you knew? You had this. This was your lane. Because don't you want to build your business from what you're good at and what makes you feel good? And make money doing it, right? So list that out, really reflect on it, and start with that, with the client profile, and start looking at your website, and start looking at putting together a business plan. And I'm dead serious. You don't write the stuff down when you're creating a plan, guess what happens? It's a great idea, right? Don't we all are full of them? Full of them. Full of great ideas? Create a business plan from that. Okay? Will you do that?
I will.
When will you do that?
Tomorrow.
There's no wrong answer. You don't have to.
Tonight.
So tomorrow's good. So do me a favor. Will you email that to me
Yes.
so I can hold you accountable? Is that okay?
Absolutely.
All right, awesome. Just make sure you get my information later, okay?
I will.
Thank you so much for playing. That's just a snippet of like what it feels like to ask. Did you notice that I was asking questions? Yeah. Because I didn't know where she was going, right? She knew where she was going. She actually talked about that bright light experience. And she could come up with like that, just 2 days ago. So ask yourself, your market, your profile, the ideal profile of your clients. Unclear who my profile clients are. When you have clarity, it propels you. You can't even stop it from happening, and you start attracting those ideal profile clients to you because you know who they are, right? How can you find them? You could just step on their toes and you won't even know it's them because you haven't established that, right? Does that make sense?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, to 5 people that makes sense. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. So you gotta okay. So, any other questions, comments, anything? Can I take a picture real quick? Hold on. This is what you can do for me. This is going on Facebook. I'm gonna blast out Alameda and tagging you to the other chapters. You know how we do this, right?
Everybody go like this.
Oh, yeah. Well, Mike, you have to explain to them what that means. You're not gonna tell them?
No.
Okay. Everybody go like this. This means you're clapping in a silent way and you're applauding. Go ahead, clap real loud. Oh my God, you guys are so awesome. Don't stop, don't stop. I know your hands are getting tired from clapping. Hold on. Did you get it?
Yeah, I got it.
All right, guys. Thank you.
Thank you, Kasama. Well, and I'm going to wrap it up here really quick. Usually I talk for another 20 or 30 minutes, but